Hi everyone, good morning. It's Margaret Manning here. Welcome to 60 and Me. Hope you're doing great today, having a wonderful morning wherever you are, and that you've got something fun planned for the day. I'm drinking my cup of tea this morning. I decided to go with chamomile this morning. It's a really like a bedtime drink, but I just felt like something kind of soothing this morning. I've got lots of work I'm trying to get done, and I'm a bit busy, so I thought chamomile tea would be a good counter to all the energy. But I do like chamomile tea. But what's your favorite tea? What do you like to drink? Maybe you're a coffee person, but whatever you're doing, just enjoy a drink, relax, and just let's talk about something that may be on your mind today. And in fact, I know that a lot of you listen to me while you're doing other things, so just carry on if you're doing the dishes or eating some breakfast or maybe walking. I don't know, you've got your phone in your hand, but whatever. I don't mind how you listen as long as you just get value from it, and that's all that matters to me, is that we're in this aging journey together, and being a 60-year-old woman can be a lot of fun. We've got time, we've hopefully got some money, or at least enough to do what we want with our lives, and that we're comfortable. We're exploring new passions and making new friends. Every day is a new day. And as I've said before, we've spent so many years of our life doing things for other people, and now it's time to kind of be a little bit selfish and relax, enjoy yourself, and don't have to even do complicated things or extravagant things. It's just a matter of appreciating, the life that you have. And so anyway, I'm glad you're here. Thanks for coming and joining us, and don't forget to tell friends about 60 and Me. We want to have as many women on this journey with us. There's a lot of us out there, and the more we have joining us together, the bigger the voice, the louder the voice, to get things that we need for our lives to be even better than they are. And we do have enough challenges for sure. So I have a question for you. It was raised by one of our bloggers, Joan Rudder Ward, and Joan asked the question about focus. Do you feel focused in your life? Do you think you're getting things done? That your to-do list, is it getting ticked off, and at the end of the day you've done everything that you wanted? Or are you feeling a little bit fragmented and not able to get through that list of to-do items? Joan is actually a photographer, and her website is all about her passion, which is photography and writing. But she gives a really good analogy about focus. And there's actually in the article a picture that shows what she's trying to say, which is, when you go out to the garden, you look at the garden, it's like this collage of color. It's all the reds and blues and greens and yellows, orange. It's just gorgeous, like a carpet. And you look at it all, and it's kind of like a bit of a blur. And you appreciate it, it's lovely, but you just feel like, it's just a lot. But if you take a picture of that, you'll see the collage of color. And then if you zoom in with your camera lens to a plant, and then go further to a petal, you might see a butterfly on the leaf. And you would never have seen that butterfly in a million years if you had just looked at the picture of the garden as a whole. But the point here is that if you are trying to focus on something, you have to kind of let everything else fade into the background, and you have to focus on that one thing. And suddenly you see things in a different light, through a different lens, literally in photography, that makes the experience a little richer and deeper and meaningful. So we choose an item of a visual interest and then zoom in on it, and it teaches us about focus. Another thing that for me that helps with focus is meditation. Because if you do a meditation that just involves simple breathing, where you sit and breathe and relax, and then as you watch the thoughts coming, because they'll just keep arising, you just say, that's a thought, goodbye, or let it go. And that kind of focus on your breath, for me, really helps when I'm doing work, when I come to a project. And the internet's a great distraction, isn't it? I mean, you can be sitting there working on a project or on an article or a letter or something, an email, and then all of a sudden you think, I wonder what's going on over there on Amazon or maybe on CNN, or you go and you stop what you're doing, go over and look, and then you forget, what was I doing? Yes. And then you come back. I'm speaking from experience here, by the way. But I think the point is that if you want to get something done, if you have a checklist of things to achieve, you got to do them one at a time. And actually, Joan mentions this as one of the things you can do to be more selective with your focus. And that is to stop multitasking. We've talked about this before, and it's really been proven by the scientists of the world that your brain cannot actually do two things at once. We think it can. You know, we may be trying to do 4 or 5 things at the same time, TV on, looking at the screen, doing that, you know, talking on the phone, making a meal. We can think we're doing all these things, but we really can. Our brain can only process one thing at a time. And it's actually been proven that multitasking is actually counterproductive because it makes your retention of memory reduces, and you actually do get less done because you spend time trying to figure out where you were and what needs to be done next from another category. So anyway, multitasking, don't multitask. Or at least try to be aware that you're multitasking and try to go back to the thing that was on the first priority. The next thing is to pare down your to-do list. Now, if you start off with a list of 25 things that you're trying to achieve today, the likelihood of getting past the first 5 is pretty remote. So the idea here is to actually start with a shorter list and then spend the time on them that's needed. And then when you finish those first 5, then go on to the next 5. So don't look at the list. You'll just panic and it'll be overwhelming, and so you won't be able to get anything done. You tend to go into a spin, or at least I do, when I've got 17 things on my list for today. There's also something actually about the number 7. I have a huge passion for 7. I've shared this with you guys before, but I think that 7 is a very magical number. So for me, my list normally has 7 things on it. And so once I accomplish those 7, which I usually don't, but I try, I'm ready for the next 7. And that seems to be a number that I can deal with. So write down, but anyway, Joan recommends that you write down the top 3 things, do them, and then go to the next 3, and so on, until you've completed all the things you wanted. Maybe your list isn't that long. Maybe it's just like number 1 has like 3 parts to it. Or whatever, but you know, pare down the list a little bit and then you won't be quite so overwhelmed. Another thing is she says to protect your personal space, you know, guard your heart and clear out the noise. That's her exact words, and I love that because what she's really saying here is be selfish of your time. Choose the friends and people in your world that are uplifting and positive. And of course, you're going to have friends that you're very committed to, might be someone in your family or someone very close, and you're going to spend time with them. You're going to go through the negativity or the challenges with them. But every now and again, in fact, more often than you probably are doing now, make time for you. Focus on the good stuff. Go to the Good News Network. It's actually a website, goodnewsnetwork.com, and it's really all about positive stories, positive people. And I know it can be challenging sometimes to find these good stories, good news stories, but they're there, and you have to just look for them. And I think that's important, is trying to figure it all out and understand the whys and the hows. It's just not going to take you anywhere. Some things are just a little bit beyond our control. And so we can be educated, we can learn about things, can watch the news, can do all these things that keep us connected. But it's really important to just let it go, protect your personal space, and do it yourself. You know how to do this. And it really does involve that magic word, no. If someone calls you and says they want to do something that you don't want to do, be courageous and say no. If you get a request for your time and it's really not something that you want to do, why would you do it? And I think it's really hard, and maybe it's something that you've already done. And Jonah actually mentions this as an example. She says there's something you've done every year. Every year I've served on this committee. Every year I've made the salad for the local fair. You've done something every year. You've presented at an event, and then this year you just don't want to do it. You just either don't have time. It's something that you're not interested in anymore, or you're tired. You just don't want to do that thing. And this is the hardest no, because people will go, oh my gosh, you've done it the last 10 years. What will we do without you? Then it's time to just say, well, it's time to find someone else, or Perhaps I'll pick it up next year, but this year, I'm afraid my answer is no. And it's really, really hard. I have had to do that in the last few months, and it's challenging. But it's be courageous and be bold. We can do it. I mean, it's one of these things that as older women we do really well. You know, we've stood up to bigger challenges than that. We've said no, you know, to protect our children. We've said no to protect our husbands or our families or our whatever, you know, our home. So do it for yourself. This is your time. And finally, Joan gives an excellent suggestion, which I do follow, and I followed it for years and years and years, and that is to keep a notebook handy, always. And if you are giving 100% focus to something that's really important, and then a thought comes into your mind, write it down. Trust me on this one. The times I have had a brilliant thought that was going to change the world, right? And then I haven't written it down. Oh my gosh, it's like turned into a nightmare because I just didn't give it a line on a piece of paper. I just didn't write it down, and then it vanished. So keep a notebook handy. I keep a little teeny one in my purse and a pen. I forget the pen. Times I've tried to write with an eyeliner or eyebrow pen, lip liner because I forgot a pen. But do write it down, and then when you have a sec, go back to it, and then you'll know what you were thinking, and you can do what you wanted to do. But keep a handbook. Keep a notebook handy. So those are some ideas from Joan Rutter Ward about what you might want to do to get focus back in your life. Tell me, are you having trouble finishing projects and completing your checklist of to-do items? Do you find yourself losing focus? I'd love to share it with us what you do. I mean, what your techniques are, how you cope with it, and let's have a conversation about it. And I'll join the conversation. I always love joining in what you have to say. I really enjoy the fact that you're so open and transparent with each other. It's as if you were sitting right there with one another, and I really do value that you trust each other like that. It's important. But anyway, let's have a chat about this, about, you know, do you have trouble focusing, finishing projects? And if so, what do you do to get them in order, get things in order? Okay, everyone. Well, I do hope that you have a great day. I don't know what you've got planned, but I'm going to go for a walk now, I think, and try to get my 10,000 steps in today because I know that it's good for me. And hope that you've got some fun things planned as well. But please share with us your plans for getting focused, your ideas, and we'll have a conversation. And thank you so much for being here. It's been wonderful chatting with you, and I look forward to seeing you all again really soon. Bye-bye for now.